God bless. God bless. God bless everybody. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, wonderful evening. I just got home from work, and today was one of those really, really grueling, labor-intensive days. A lot happened in the facility, and then I had the long commute to come home, and it's just I'm beat. I'm really really exhausted, but I wanted to go ahead and shoot this video for you guys. Uh, One of the things that was going on today that I noticed, I was going through my Instagram feed and I did notice that Max Lucado went ahead and he posted up a photo that he tested positive um of the coronavirus. And that's him with the vaccine. He's gotten the vaccine. I myself have gotten the vaccine, and so has my wife. My wife has gotten the vaccine, and a lot of people that I know have gotten the vaccine. And there's this thing called vaccine hesitancy. People are afraid of getting vaccinated. I encourage people to go ahead and get vaccinated. It's totally up to you. It's your decision, but um, I mean, it's your health. That's the way I look at it. Um, but moving on to something a little more interesting, because I don't want to make this about getting vaccinated. Um, I actually decided to go ahead and leave a comment because I was touched by the reading the whole entire post. This man is sick, and this man should be resting, but he's at home. Um, which clearly tells me that the variant, he's sick, but he's not, dying sick. He's at home recovering. Now he should be recovering. He should be resting. Instead, he chooses to go ahead and spend his time praying. He asks in his post, "Is there anything you would like him to pray for?" And I was touched by that because here I am looking at it from this point of view. This man should be sick. This man should be resting. This man should be, you know, taking a break. And if anything, he's driving himself deeper into a deeper intimacy with God. And I'm like, wow, what if everybody decided to go ahead and do that? What if all Christians decided to go ahead and do that? And then the other thing that I thought about, Max Lucado always he always has a special place in my heart. My wife knows this. My family knows this. One of the books, and I was commenting, telling him this. I was commenting and letting him know that to cheer him up. One of the I had that I had let him know that I was an alcoholic and stuff like that. And I was telling him that his book. I'm not gonna go ahead and read the whole entire post, but his book, one of his books, helped change things and put things in a very different perspective when it came to becoming a Christian. Christianity has always been deeply rooted in my family. My father was a Christian, my mother was a Christian. We were all pretty much raised in a Christian household. Since pretty much since the day I was born, I was raised in a Christian household. But like the prodigal son, I decided to go ahead and leave. I turned my back on, Christianity and turned my back on all that and decided to go see what is out there in the world, thinking and believing that I can do better on my own. And I went and I experienced it, and it took me to a dark place. I wound up becoming homeless. I wound up becoming an alcoholic. I wound up becoming, I gave him my story. And no, that just because I left the church doesn't mean that this is going to happen to everybody that leaves the church. Everybody has a different experience. But that was my experience. And my mom had this book lying around in the house. And, I happened to see it. And what really caught my attention was the cover of the book. And I was like, wow. And of course, I'm an artist. I'm a graphic designer, and I have done my fair share of book designs, book cover designs. So I'm like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. I mean, like, this is this is really the cover itself is just giving you a really, really awesome message. So mom's passed, and I had borrowed the book. I didn't read the book. I had just borrowed the book. But eventually, I decided to read the book, and when I started reading the book, I never put it down. And it changed my whole entire perspective about Christianity and what it is to go ahead and be a Christian, what it is to go ahead and serve Christ, what it is to be attending a church. It changed my whole perspective about having a relationship more like, more intimate relationship with God. It changed it. Um, did the change last enough to go ahead overnight? No, it didn't. But that was the starting point of my Christian walk, because I chose to read that book. And not only did I choose to read that book, I also, which is something that since I was a little kid, whenever I read a book, I always have a Bible and a dictionary um, at hand. So every time he brought up a Bible verse, I would go ahead and cross reference it and double check, because you have to make sure whatever it is that the author's saying is completely true and completely biblical and sound judgment. And if there was a word that I didn't understand, I would go ahead and look it up in the dictionary. But I had read that book, not studied. I had read that book, and what that book did to me is open my eyes, and it helped me understand that um, there was a lot more, to life, and particularly that state, of my life. And I was, like I said, I was an alcoholic and was constantly drinking. I was having suicidal thoughts. I was, very, very depressed, and I was homeless. I mean, it wasn't a happy time in my life. But eventually, after reading the book, I bought another book and got myself another book. And little by little, started to make changes in my life, started to have a connection, started to pray more, and those things started to happen in my life. And, lo and behold, here I am now. And we're talking about 3 years ago. Here I am. I'm no longer homeless. I don't live with my mom, or my sister or my family. I have my own family. It's just me and my wife right now. Um, and we have this beautiful apartment. Um, I have a wonderful job, and I'm grateful for the job, as tough and laborious as it be. And everybody that knows me, you guys know that I work for FedEx at a sorting facility. So my job is pretty labor intensive. Lifting the packages, carrying packages back and forth. It's very, very intensive, and I work the evening sort, so it makes it difficult for me to come home and just go ahead and sit down and relax and unwind. And right now I'm exhausted. I am physically drained, but I am focused and mentally awake, and that's why I'm actually doing this video. But I was touched by, and I was reliving those moments as I'm writing a comment. And instead of making this whole entire list for him to go ahead and pray for me, I decided to say thank you. Because of authors like Max Lucado, um, my life um, took a big change. And the reason why I say because of authors like Max Lucado is a great writer, and he chooses to write for the glory of God. And he gives God glory, but he chooses to write for the glory of God. And I thank God for what he did to me, for what he did in my life, for how he changed my life, how he saved me. But I also thank God for authors like Max Lucado. Max Lucado was a turning point for me when I read his books. It was a turning point for me in my I'm not gonna even say Christian living, but my daily life. You know, I have tons of his books on Kindle, and I have tons of his books on, print copies, and I read them all the time. And my wife can tell you this. I've always said that Max knows how to really break things down in a level where you really know how to understand it. He knows how to connect with people, and in an intimate, way. He knows how to go ahead and do it. So if by any chance, Max, you're listening, thank you. Thank you. And for those of you that don't know who I'm talking about, you can go to Amazon and look up the book 316 Numbers of Hope. That is the book that I'm talking about. It's by Max Lucado, wonderful author, and he really knows how to bring things into perspective and really knows how to go ahead and hit certain areas of the heart, you know. And thank you, Max. That's really all I can say. And I have to thank my family because they never stopped praying for me. They kept me in prayer and continually presented me in prayer, and I have to thank them. Anyways, with that being said, I don't want to spend the whole night blabbing. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Have a wonderful night. God bless you guys.